All right, so I'm live with Assimilate-Julia, and I'm going to continue to build things up. Notice I've got code spaces pre-built here, and I'm going to go ahead and launch it. You'll see how quick it is, right? I just click this button, boom, we launch up the code space, which is really, really cool. Now, I believe one of the next things that I wanted to solve was this problem of linting, because I want to be able to lint inside of code spaces itself. And so this will be a little bit of a tricky issue here. Um, and so I'm going to go ahead and launch terminal, and you can see our next up, which is today. I'm going to try to get this done. So December 12th, try to get linting. So let's take a look at a lint example, and let's see if we can figure out how to do this. Okay, so Julia formatter, Julia matrix. Ooh, I like this. Persist credentials. I don't think we want to do that. We don't care about GitHub, but uses persist. Huh. So this does look interesting. If we look at this, we can see format on push. Well, let's try this. Let's just get this going, right? Let's just take a little bit at a time, and let's see what we can get working. So I guess what I'm going to need to do is create a .github workflows directory. So let's say maker-p .github, and then do workflows. There we go. Now, if we go to this directory, we can touch inside workflows, and I think we'll call this one format. So format.yml. So we're going to format this thing, format.yml. There we go. And let's, whoops, MV format. No, it should be in here. It should be flows. Format. Weird how it doesn't actually pop open there, which is kind of weird. Format.yml. Maybe I can refresh. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that was weird, but I'll go up a couple directories here. So I'm going to just put this in there. I think I can just copy this other person's example here, which says format on push master. We just care about master branch. Ubuntu latest, use this formatter. Okay, let's try it out. So let's go ahead and do this. We'll say git status, git add.dev container, git add.github. And so adding Julia formatter. Now we're starting to get into DevOps for Julia, right? And so if we go to our repository here, we should be able to check out GitHub Actions, and we should be able to get this thing to run. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Here we go. Install agent. So that's only the pre-build, but we also have we should have regular actions as well. So actions, code spaces, format. This is the workflow. What's weird is, why is this not running yet? format, name format. So I really don't know why this is not running, unless I screwed it up somehow. We'll set one up ourselves. Workflows. We could look for Julia. Let's just see if we can find one. Build Julia, fix doc tests, publish packages, cast Julia artifacts, run build step in a Julia package. There's definitely some stuff here for Julia. Fix doc tests. That's it. Run the tests in a Julia package. That looks very interesting. Build Julia from source. Well, what I don't get here is why this is not running. I'm going to put it again in here and see what happens. And let's go back. We have format. So, somehow I'm doing something wrong here. What I need to do is look at another project and I need to steal it. So I'm going to grab one of my other Julia or Python projects or some other project. Here we go. Let's grab CI/CD. Let's see what the difference is here. So if I say get pull, and if I just take one of these out and I look at the difference, name on push. No, push master pull uses main. I think it would be great to split this window. And let's see here how we can make them very similar. So we have format Julia code, and then you can say push branches, push all. We don't need tags. We don't care about pull requests. Real simple jobs build, runs on steps, uses actions, checkout 3. What does that do? With args. Run aim. So I would say it would be the width is where things get tricky here, because what I don't know, workflows, is environment run workflows, continuous integration. Julia matrix version strategy uses setup Julia build package run test uses. This looks promising. This really does look promising. What I don't get though is this Julia formatter, because with args, name lint run. I don't know what the lint command is. If we go back to this, maybe it'll tell us. If we look at the lints, update project. So this was updated recently, but how do you build it in the continuous integration system he's got? That's the real question. I don't know. So because I see this, but this is 3 years ago, right? This is not promising. Update format workflow. Does this even do anything? Does that version even work? So I don't know. That's a kind of a tricky one. Let's just say echo I. Try that, and let's get rid of the other. Git rm main GitHub workflows main and this could be tricky to get this debugged. Well, at least it failed. Invalid file. Syntax line 9. Well, at least I have bad uses echo actions. Well, let's take a look at this again. Let's go back to here. Formats here. I have a feeling this is not good. GitHub actions, Julia formatter. GitHub actions, Julia formatter. Here we go. What is this? GitHub. What's this thing do? This does not work. Okay, so does this one work? This is kind of new. So does this person, what are they doing? Update format check. These are really old commits. Oh, Julia actions. Setup Julia. These look new. Run test. Process coverage. This action sets the Julia path for actions. Julia, well, maybe you just start with the basics, right? You go here, use this action in your project. So maybe I just start somewhere. Uses. Huh. Okay. Well, let's try this. This looks interesting for sure. Well, use latest version, copy, and let's go back to this and let's just We'll say name, set up Julia uses, and then let's just get something to work. And I think the something that we could get to work would be some kind of hello world here. Matrix testing. I like this kind of 64-bit Julia. Let's see what would this do? Jobs. Would it really be like that simple? It would be now Ubuntu latest is all I would care about. Julia versions. What versions do I have here? Julia 1.8, 1.8. Let's just keep it simple here. So Julia, would this work? But is this messed up here? The YAML, GitHub, debug, actions in code spaces. Before I check it in, how do I actually just debug this thing real quick? And is there a way to do that? It doesn't looks like I am screwing something up. I guess I could look at my other jobs. Oh, maybe that will work. Just jobs below. Maybe that will work. Let's try it. So say git status, git add GitHub, it's adding Julia setup. Okay, so if I go back to this, we go to actions. At least I screwed up something really quick. Syntax error line 3. So this is the annoying stuff, is getting the syntax fixed. Uses, because why is the syntax, what am I screwing up here? If we say the actions, maybe, is there like a tool? GitHub actions. Actions workflow runs for GitHub hosted. Schema validation and auto completion. Let's see here. We have for linting. That's kind of an interesting idea. Listen, let's try that. Let's lint this. So I installed it, and let's lint this now. What did I screw up? Let's close all this stuff. And I don't see the tool that lets me lint this, which is kind of annoying. How about this? Let's just take this out. Let's get anything to work. Add. Always the way to debug stuff is, does anything work? And well, that's a good sign. Nothing works. So our documentation here is bunk. Thanks for giving me bad docs. Give me something that works. Give me anything. Basic steps. Uses. How about this? Let's try this. Basic. There we go. Steps. Back here. Actions. Oh, again. No event triggered and on. Uses. So yeah, it's kind of annoying to copy people's examples that basically don't work. There's no working example anywhere. There's just partial. They're like assuming that you have exactly the syntax sorted out here, which is kind of annoying actually. It would be great if they just showed me anything that worked. Check in, example build. Well, at least we know these should work. Nightly example builds defaults. What's the newest one? This defaults to tarball. What's this? Skip builds, concurrency, runs. What else we got? This is all NPM stuff. Very interesting that there literally is no working example anywhere that tells inputs this will be installed, uses, outputs, Julia actions setup, Julia view in marketplace. There's no full working example in this entire project. If you don't want to deal with it, by default, uses, yeah, so only way I could figure this out probably would be to go back to the drawing board and go to here, go back to this, delete it, then go back to actions, make a new one, and try to get some example of something. Julia, here we go. No examples of Julia. Let's continuous integration. Let's see what are the examples. If there's any other language. PyLint is probably a good one to copy from. Here we go. So we have a, let's just call this, let's just tweak this a little bit. We'll say Julia demo. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tweak this one. So we'll call this one Julia. And I'm going to riff on one versus the other. So what this is telling me is that we can do matrix, or we can even do this, steps. So in theory, I could just put this under steps. Let's go back here. So if I just take this and then I'm going to have to put it in right, same level of strategy. So we can do that. Yep. And then runs on, I think I can get rid of that. for that part of it. Let's see, does this work? Maybe. So DevOps can be very, very complicated and annoying. But one way to look at it is you're investing in the future, and this is why you do things like DevOps. So this might work actually. Ooh, look at this. It's maybe going to be able to do a setup. Oh, there we go. Look at this. So we got something working. Not exactly what I wanted, but something. And what I can do now is I can click on this. We can make a status badge, and at least we've got a little bit of progress made here. And I'm going to put that right here. And then what I will say is be 14. So next time, continue to build out Julia automation in GitHub Actions. Okay, so currently today we got at least Julia to build in GitHub Actions. So the good news about all this is it's going to save a lot of time as I work in the future and get unit testing available for Julia. All right, that's it for today. See you in a couple weeks for Julia.